Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Char Zaku 2 and the regular Zaku 2 from the FW Converge line. I just recently picked these guys up at the mini-so that opened in my town, and I am loving them. They come in a pretty detailed box. You can see here the other ones in this specific series that they've released, but I believe they've released several different sets of these guys. But these are my first ones that I'm taking a look at. And then rather than just displaying them raw, I think I'm going to take them in panel line and see what we can do to really make these guys pop on the shelf here. But here you can see the details. Now let's do a little bit of a scan on just the Zaku here, the Char Zaku. Gotta love that red color. It's just so vibrant. And then green's my personal favorite color, so you can't go wrong with the Zaku too. So let's get these guys cut open. You can see just how small these figurines are. I'm really curious about their posability, you know, if they're just going to be straight statue type figures, and what may or may not come with them. So let's get these guys popped open. We've got a segmented bag here with the main figure, and looks like a base stand, the bazooka, and looks like the standard Zaku machine gun. Interesting that they put the cardboard in with the machine gun. I'm not really sure what that's for, but let's take a closer look here at Char Zaku. And I love the different hues of red they've got in there for the main armor, the chest armor, the piping. Tons of little detail packed in this guy. We got a full swivel with the arms. Now, this really tricked me. If you take a look here in just a second inside the elbow, it looks like you've got a movable joint there. And I really gave it a good tug and nothing. So don't break yours. Luckily, I didn't break mine, but I probably came close. You'll also notice that the right hand is missing, and that's because both weapons that came with this guy have fists attached to the weapons, where you can just pop them in. And then you have this single pivot point on the heel for the base stand, which is kind of nice, so you can kind of rotate and angle him, because those legs do not move at all. We do have the head that can come off the top of the helmet, so that way we can move this mono eye, which is just on a wheel here. So if you want to give it a little side eye, that's totally an option. It is rather tight, as you can see here, but yeah, there he is on the stand. Let's take a look at the weapons. So there is the bazooka. Tons of just nice detail. If you got in there with a fine pen or paintbrush with some silver, you could really make some things pop. Same with the machine gun here. Just tons of detail, and you can see that fist already on the handle, so that way you can just pop it in his arm. But obviously we've got to go with the bazooka, because when you have a bazooka, you use a bazooka. Looking so cool, so stubby, so silly. I love it. We'll get him posed up there. Now the bazooka is a little long, but since you get a little bit of a raise from the stand, it's not too bad. And there he is. Now let's get open the regular Zaku 2. Looks like we have the standard setup as the other one, segmented, figurine, base stand, except for the special weapon on him looks to be a Heat Hawk. There he is. Just like the other one, nice color separation. So much detail. And these Zakus do appear to be more like the G-Quux line of Zakus versus like the original series with the two large armor pieces on the upper thigh. Fits in the stand nicely. Now with this one, I did have looser joints on the arms, but these guys are just going to be sitting on the stand, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. And there you have the weapons, the Heat Hawk, the machine gun. All the detail they had put, I wish they had made the end of that Heat Hawk a silver color, more like an actual blade. I probably am going to go in at the end with just a silver Gunpla marker and get that colored up right there. But look at, they even have the gap in between the hosing there. Lots and lots of detail. And there's that loose arm wants to pop out again. But once they get standing there, it shouldn't be an issue. So I'm going to go in and panel line these guys up. But before I do, let's get and you can see here they have the same machine gun for both. So if you do pick up more than one and you lose one, it's no problem. But I'm going to give you a nice good close-up on the before view before I get the panel lines in. I just really can't get over that vibrant red. It just really, really pops. But so many details, all the thrusters. Now let's get in here on the shoulder armor with some panel liner. And it just drinks that up. As I went, I wasn't trying to be super precious about it because I go back over and I clean it up with lighter fluid. But I actually really liked how it looked without cleaning it up. It was almost like some light weathering. Like you have just, like slight oil spills and things from like the mechanic work on it. So I ended up just leaving it, but it's really drinking up the panel liner in all of these small segments. I didn't do any scribing or anything like that. And there were a ton of tiny nooks and crannies to get panel lined, which for someone like me, like I really enjoy panel lining. It's one of my favorite part of Gunpla. So being able to do it on this figure was a lot of fun, even as small as it was. And this almost matte plastic, it did drink that panel liner up to where it wasn't as obvious as when it was immediately going on. But in the end, I think it gave it a good effect. There's so much detail between the hoses. If you haven't picked up any of these kits, I really recommend them. Even if you want to use them just to practice your panel lining, your weathering, they're not that expensive, and you kind of can't beat what you get for the price. I think I paid about $10 a figurine. Now, unfortunately, this is where my camera overheated. So this is all the panel lining you're going to get to see, but I'll give you the before and after view of these guys right here. Here's our before view. It's fresh out the box. Now we've got the after. And you can see how those panel lines aren't quite as obvious as when I was freshly putting them on, but they're still there. They still make all the different segments pop. And it gives it, like I said, that kind of lightly mechanic weathered effect. But I love these guys. Definitely a great addition. I'll give you one more close-up on this Char Zaku because it's just so cool. But yeah, definitely pick these guys up. And like I said, if nothing else, just to use for practice, you can't miss because all of the panel lining was pretty deep. I didn't have any issues with nothing taking. It all took the panel liner really well. I didn't use the pen at all. I stuck pretty much just with the pour type. But here's your regular Zaku. And then before we wrap things up, I'll let you see them on the shelf, how they compare and look next to regular Gunpla. You just can't miss with that. So I got to give these guys a 10 out of 10. Go get yourself one, even if you just need something for the desk. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time.